The English word that makes me unreasonably angry for today that we're talking about is dozen. I don't understand how this is a thing that exists and that is commonly used. Of all of the numbers that deserved replacement from 11 to 20, 12 is the one that needed it the least. It's one syllable. So why are we coming up with an alternate for like the most efficient number we have in that frame? Like 11, that's 3 syllables. All the other ones, 2. 12, 1. Why? Why are we screwing up 12? Dozen isn't making anything quicker, clear, more efficient. None of that. And then the most bonkers thing to me is that we use dozen to frame other numbers and not in an easy sense. If you are a person that says half a dozen, I don't know if you deserve to exist. Tone it back. I don't understand how you can be in the frame of mind where you actively decide to say half a dozen instead of 6. It's just it's easier, it's clearer, it's faster. You're not going to confuse people. People aren't forced to do math in a situation that doesn't make sense for them to. Just say 6, you psychos. And then we've got baker's dozen. Do you know what that one is? I had to look it up. I didn't know it intuitively, yet it's still getting used because a baker's dozen is apparently more clear and efficient than saying 13. And there is one thing that stopped me from doing something that I have never done in this series of purely killing off a word, wiping it from existence, and not replacing it in any way. I was thinking of doing that with dozen. I'm like, I don't even want a replacement. And that is simply just a showing of respect to Steve Martin and the movie Cheaper by the Dozen and its sequels, however many there are. I know there's at least one. Although in Wiplish, I hope to wipe it from existence, except in reference to that. Both baker's dozen and half a dozen, never say them, please. The substitute I'm going to make is Woto, just so we can have a replacement that won't drive me crazy. It is also a Samos. You know I love to make those. And of course, it's kind of like the start of one, but it's also created with all of the letters that construct 2. So it's 1 and 2 makes 12. There you go. Woto. If you absolutely have to substitute 12 for whatever reason, there you go. It shouldn't exist. Moving on. Song of the day is November Rain by Guns N' Roses. I have been jamming to this song lately. I kind of got re-inspired to listen to it after listening to it during Thor Love and Thunder. It's towards the end of that movie during a great climactic scene. And I'm like, yeah, that is a great song. I gotta listen to that more. It's a very long one, about 9+ minutes long, and it is pretty slow for most of it, then has a tremendous ending portion, kind of similar to Stairway of Heaven. It's very epic. I actually did feature it in, I think, my Biscuit word change, and its final portion is just amazing rock. Since we're in November, and I've been digging it, felt appropriate. Now for the video of the day. I sent Brian Windhorst's rant before the Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert trades. He's talking about the Royce O'Neal trade that went over to Brooklyn, and he kind of saw that Utah was going to restart their franchise, essentially, and talks through this with great logic, builds the suspense, and this went pretty viral. It was a great moment. It kind of leads us to the position we're in where we now have Rudy Gobert, we being the Timberwolves. I've been making recap videos of them. Felt like this is kind of good context. And I remember when this video came out, I was thinking the exact same thing about this trade. And I'm like, oh shit, I think things are about to go down. Why else would they do that? So this is a cool moment. Love when you can make a prediction so early on like this and then just see everything fall into place. It feels so great. And I'm sure he's really satisfied with all this. That's it for the Daily Do. Peace out.